you to George Ferguson for Daybreak. George will be back bright and early next Sunday morning at 6. Andy Wint will be along at 10 to make your Sunday super gold. But right now, this is Judith Lay saying Moramai, good morning and welcome as the island's Christian community is once more at your service.
Manx Radio.
One of the great blessings of Manx Radio being available online and this programme being available as a podcast is that it puts us in touch with quite literally all corners of the world. Today I'd like to say good morning to Rose and Andrew Quayle, who join us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Andrew's emailed to say that his Quayle surname probably gives away his Manx roots. And Andrew, I'm so pleased that you enjoyed the recent programme about Kirkmackle, the church where you were christened, and where a flowering cherry tree is planted in the churchyard in memory of your mother. Andrew also has memories of growing up in the Douglas Corps of the Salvation Army. Andrew, thank you for sharing those precious memories, and in return we send you our warmest good wishes to you and to your wife, Rose. And a reminder that there's a Celtic communion service where everyone will be warmly welcomed in Kirkmackle this morning at 11. It'll be led by Bishop Peter and is a great finish to the weekend celebrating the feast of St Mackled. Someone else who listens online is Mrs Anne Jones from Brightlingsea on the Essex coast. Anne, it's lovely to have your company and thank you for choosing our opening hymn today, a great hymn of praise to get the programme off to a good start. Let's join the choir of Norwich Cathedral now as they sing Robert Grant's hymn based on Psalm 104. O worship the King, all glorious above. O gratefully sing his power and his love. O worship the King, all glorious above. The hymn choice of Mrs Anne Jones, listening in Brightlingsea. Your hymn choices are always welcome. I'll remind you at the end of the programme how to contact me. And if you'd like to dedicate your choice to someone who'll be listening along with you, it'd be my pleasure to do that. Today I have a collection of stories to share. They're quite different in their style, but like all good stories, I hope they'll leave us still thinking about them long after they've ended. Liz Babs visited the island a few years ago, and since then I've listened to quite a few of her Bible-based meditations. Liz, who describes herself as a creative communicator, has suffered from ME and is now dedicated to helping people to improve their physical, spiritual and mental well-being. She works through her website, lizbabs.com, but do be warned, alongside her books and CDs are some very tempting cake recipes. This morning, Liz invites us to think about a particular Bible story, Jesus visiting the home of two sisters, Martha and Mary. But before we get to the story, Liz explains why it's important for us to take time to stop and think.
The Gospels tell us that Jesus repeatedly took time out away from the crowds, often across a lake or up a mountain, to pray and spend quality time with his Father. In other words, he kept returning to HQ so that he could be refreshed, recharged and revisioned. Jesus was called to do the will of his Father, and that's our job too. So we need to spend quality time soaking in our Father's presence and waiting on him, just like Jesus did. So imagine yourself now accepting Jesus' invitation. Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest.
You give rest to the weary. You bring strength to the weak. As they wait in your presence, there is grace for the need. So I'll wait, yes I'll wait for you. I will say of the Lord, he is my...
And so to the story of Jesus visiting Martha and Mary. But first, Liz has a few questions.
Imagine Jesus knocking on your door now. What would be your immediate reaction? Would you rush round clearing up? Or would you invite him in immediately? Which part of the house would you show him into? What would your first words to him be? Would you make him a drink or cook him a meal? Or just sit and chat? Now as I read you the story of Mary and Martha, imagine yourself stepping inside their house just as Jesus did. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work for myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you're worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken from her." As you reflect on this scripture, I'd like you to imagine that you're Mary, sitting at the feet of Jesus, enjoying his company. Visualize yourself sitting next to him now. What are you sitting on? Or are you kneeling? Where is Jesus sitting? Is he sitting on your right or left? What is he wearing? What is he saying to you? Is there anything you'd like to ask him? Is there anything you'd like to say to Martha? How does your time with Jesus end?
As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. Alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. I want you more than gold or silver, only you can satisfy. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye.
Gareth Moore singing and playing a hymn based on Psalm 42, seeking God's presence in our life. As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. And before that, Liz Babs invited us to imagine how we might have reacted if we'd been there with Jesus, Martha and Mary. Our next stories take us to the Holy Island of Lindisfarne. Singer-songwriter Andrew Lobb and much-loved author David Adam, who for many years was the Vicar of Holy Island, will share first the story of the Wild Geese, followed by just one of the many stories about Bishop Aidan, the first Bishop of Lindisfarne. In the early 7th century, the Northumbrian king, Oswald, summoned an Irish monk named Aidan to leave his monastery on the island of Iona to become Bishop of King Oswald's kingdom. Oswald granted Bishop Aidan the small island of Lindisfarne, Holy Island, on which to found a monastery. In the years that followed, it became one of the most important centres of early English Christianity. And as you'll hear, King Oswald and Bishop Aidan became, after a few misunderstandings, good friends. But first, a prayer of dedication from Ray Simpson, founder of a retreat house on the Holy Island of Lindisfarne.
I give you assent with all my being. I give you affection with all my senses. I give you worship with all my mind. I give you joy with all my frame. I bow my knees before you. I still my heart before you. I am yours, and I will be yours every day of my life.
And all I have to give, I give to you today. And all I have to say, I say to you today. And all I have to feel, I feel for you today. for you today. And everything I see for you today. And everything I want for you today. Today, because you are my Lord, because you are my Lord. And everything I am for you today. And everything I think for you today. And everything I touch for you today. Today, because you are my Lord, because you are my Lord, because you are my Lord. And all I want to be, I'll be for you today. And all I want to try, I'll try for you today. And all I want to sing, I'll sing for you today.
Some days on Holy Island it feels like being at the beginning of creation. In a sense, each day is new. But when the fog is lifting and the sun appearing, when there are great flocks of birds in the sky, when the seals are singing and the curlews are calling, it is very special indeed. On one such day, I watched a wonderful flight of wild geese going over in a V formation. It seemed they were urging the leader on with their cries. I thought, how clever, how cooperative. By flying in a V, each bird was in the slip stream of the bird in front. It has been calculated by flying in such a formation, the geese can increase their range by as much as 70% over a bird that flies alone. This must teach us something about teamwork and the ability to share. When the lead bird tires, it drops further back in the formation and lets another goose take the lead. This helps to keep a better pace and is not dependent on one bird alone. Once again, we could learn from such actions. Shared leadership is important. We need to know when to take the lead and when to hand it over. In flight, the geese actually take advantage of the lifting power of the bird ahead. There are times when we need to follow a leader and take advantage of the work they've already done. I'm told that when a goose falls out of formation due to fatigue or illness, 2 other geese will fall out with it, support it and protect it. They will stay with the goose until it sets off again or until it dies. I've only heard this from one person, but I would like to think that it is so. It tells of a sense of community and duty, as well as care and protection. I feel we've got a lot to learn from the wild geese and from the other creatures that are about us.
Sent from my owner, with blessings in his hand. He arrived in Northumbria, a stranger in the land, gentle in his worth and humble in attire. He talked far behind all worldly goods on high. He walked among the people with nothing left to hide, and as grains in the sand and poor in heart and soul, the power of the gospel, the word to make them whole. And you who lack a voice inside, with nothing left to say, lift up your hearts to Aidan and feel his blessings today. And if your soul is in poverty, with nothing left to give, lift up your hands to Aidan and take his strength to live.
Aidan, who lived on Lindisfarne, was forever giving things away. If he was given money, he gave it to the poor, or he bought slaves and then set the slaves free. There was one occasion when Aidan was given a very fine horse. This was by King Oswin. So the trappings were of the best. The harness, the saddle were all very beautiful and very expensive. Aidan actually liked to travel on foot, but he felt because he had the horse, he would have to ride. Having a horse in the days of Aidan was like having a very expensive car, and it set Aidan aside from the ordinary people, so he was not too happy that he was riding. Not long afterwards he met a very poor man who asked for alms. The bishop immediately dismounted and ordered the horse, with all its royal trappings, to be given to the beggar. This shows you how compassionate and caring Aidan was. Later, when the king heard of what the bishop had done, he said, "My lord bishop, Aidan, why did you give away a royal horse which was necessary for you to use? Why did you give it to a beggar? Have we not less valuable horses that you could give to him?" Aidan answered, "What are you saying, your majesty? Is this horse more valuable to you than the child of God?" The king felt quite rebuked. Later he begged forgiveness from Aidan, but he did say, "I will not refer to this matter again, nor will I inquire how much of what you're given you give away to God's children." Aidan was deeply moved. He stood up and asked the king to rise to his feet and assured him of his high regard and begged him to sit down with him to eat. At the bishop's request, the king and he sat down together.
And you who lack a voice inside, with nothing left to say, lift up your hearts to Aidan and feel his blessings today. And if your soul is in poverty, with nothing left to give, lift up your hands to Aidan and feel his blessings and take his strength to live.
Tracing our Christian past in stories from the Holy Island of Lindisfarne in the company of David Adam, Andrew Lobb and Ray Simpson. Last week we were at your service with David and Evelyn Stewart, leaders of the popular Port St Mary Beach Mission, who were explaining that this year's beach mission would be very different. Because so many local young people have already signed up to join in virtual beach mission, and because it's not too late for others to share the fun, Evelyn Stewart joins us again to remind us of everything that's now been confirmed and will be happening over the next 2 weeks.
Sadly, most of our team can't travel across to the island to run Beach Mission this summer. However, we still have lots of exciting activities planned for Virtually Beach Mission 2020, which will run from Monday the 3rd to Friday the 14th of August. We're delighted to have close to 250 children and young people registered already, and it's not too late to join in. Every weekday there will be an online beach service, similar to what we would normally do on the beach or outside the town hall. This is for all ages and will include songs, interactive Bible teaching and an amazing drama from Alex Brown. And then, also every weekday, there will be a short video for each of our 6 age groups. These will include Bible stories, activities and crafts, which are appropriate for each age group. Anyone is welcome to watch the videos, but if you register your children, aged between 0 and 17, then they will receive a resource pack, which includes a book, an activity booklet for their age group, and lots of other gifts and stationery items. They can use the booklet alongside the online videos, or they can just use it on its own if they're not able to watch the videos. If you live on the island, we're asking you to pick up your pack from Port St Mary. But the good news is that you can do that at one of the events which we will be running during the fortnight. We don't have enough team members to run our activities in the usual way, but our local team members are going to run something every weekday during the fortnight. On the Mondays and Wednesday afternoons, there will be activities aimed at primary age children, but all ages are welcome. Parents and carers must stay with children aged 12 and under because we don't have enough team members to take responsibility for them. Then on the Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, there will be sessions just for teenagers, who are allowed to come without an adult. And finally, there are 2 special family events on the 2 Fridays. First of all, on Friday the 7th of August, there will be a family fun afternoon based at Living Hope Church building on Bayview Road. This will be similar to a summer fete with activities and stalls for families to enjoy together. And on Friday the 14th at 6 p.m, there will be a bonfire at Perwick Bay, which is just beyond the flat rocks at the far end of Port St Mary. You'll find information about all of these activities, as well as how to register your children and where to watch the videos, on our website, which is psmbm.org.uk.
Thank you, Evelyn Stewart, for that update on the Port St Mary Beach Mission that starts tomorrow. And as always, the Beach Mission headquarters is Malmore on the Promenade in Port St Mary. Thank you to everyone who has been at your service today, and my special thanks to you for your company. Do please keep letting me know the hymns you'd like to hear. You can phone or text me here in the studio tonight when I'm on air from 9 o'clock with Sundown, or you can email me anytime on judithley@manxradio.com, and Ley is spelled L-E-Y. I'd really love to hear from you. Don't forget that if you're an early riser and would prefer to listen to At Your Service as you start your day, the podcast of this programme is available every week from 7 a.m. and you can find the podcast on our website, manxradio.com, and via the Manx Radio app too. So I'll be back here next Sunday morning, either as a podcast from 7 a.m. or on your radio at 9:30, when the island's Christian community will once again be at your service. But for now, this is Judith wishing you and those you love and care for a safe and blessed week and a very good morning.